Okay, guys, I have gist for you.
What gist?
Let me break it down.
Hey guys.
Hey guys, we are back. Another episode of I Have Gist for You. Today is a special episode.
Very, very special. We're very excited. So, as you can see, we're shaking. We're very, very excited.
We're
Very excited. We have our very first guest with us today. We'll hand over so she can introduce herself to you.
Okay, so who are you?
Hi everyone, my name is Shomi Williams, and I'm a psychological therapist.
Okay.
Lovely.
Put some respect on her name.
Yeah,
Okay.
some serious respect. So today we're going to be talking in more depth about mental health. We spoke a bit last season about our journees and stuff, but today it's more generic. Some questions we would have liked answers to and we think would be helpful. So we're interviewing her on the sly. And then...
we're all going to learn something.
Yeah, you know, we said season 2 is a learning journey, so this is the start. And we got a specialist here. Look at us, guys, look. So we're very excited. Very, very excited.
So, do you know what? The first question I have for you is, what is a psychological therapist? What is that?
That's an interesting question.
Describe it to someone. Well, how would you even describe that? Just for people, because I'm sure there's different types of therapists.
Yeah. Okay, so a therapist is someone who supports your well-being, and then I guess when it's psychological, it's to do with your emotional and mental well-being, with depth into, you know, how you're living your day-to-day life, how your thoughts are governing you, what's happened to you in the past, how you're going to move about things, how you're going to work towards healing. So it's, you just talk with the person essentially, and they try to identify, okay, you know, this is what's going on, or no, they don't identify, they help you identify, you know, what problem areas there are, how you can unpack that, what you can do about it. And you should get a sense of catharsis when you speak to a therapist, and you should also leave feeling like, okay, I have better understanding and I am equipped with what to do.
Okay. So what made you get into it?
Do you know what? This is an interesting one, because I remember when I was first studying, I was more into the hard sciences. And then I'd say in my third year, I was like, I really don't want to do this anymore. Didn't know what I wanted to do, so I just thought I might as well just complete it. Then I started having mental health problems myself, and I remember it being interpreted as spiritual problems. And I believed that because that was my belief system at the time. And, you know, the church helped and all of that, and I did get better, and I was very grateful for it. Upon reflection and with more education, I realised this was actually a mental health problem, and it made me reflect back onto other people I knew that went through similar, interpreted as spiritual problems. So I started off being like, I need to get this out there. I need to educate people in spiritual spaces and churches about mental health problems, because fortunately for me, it wasn't so severe, but I know some people that it did become a problem. They did dismiss it. It got worse. I know people that they lost their parents because of it, so their parents had to be taken away, or they were taken away from their parents because of it, and you know, they just thought church was the answer. So I started off going into churches, talking about mental health and all of that. Then I started taking courses in university to learn about mental health. Then I started practicing, and from there it's just gone on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So how did you become a therapist? Like, what's the pathway if anyone wanted to do that as a career-wise? Is it degree? Is it diploma? Masters?
So the best way to do it is if you know early on, and you could just do one degree, one and done.
Okay, one and done.
Unfortunately for
like
me,
it short
I
and sweet.
didn't know, so I had to do 3
degrees?
a lot of time.
You've been educated.
Yeah.
Against my will, yeah. I just didn't know what I was doing. So,
fair.
Fortunately, the NHS, they always push CBT, so you can get CBT training through them for free, which is what I did. So my last 2 degrees didn't pay for it. I think if you know earlier, like in that stage when you're 18, you can go into your own speciality. So I'm CBT because that's what was free, and I didn't want to pay for anything. But if you're a bit younger, you want to be a therapist, you want to do the 3-year degree, and you can do it in something particular. You can, I would say, go into something like integrative counselling, because there's just a big market for that in the NHS, private, whatever. Yes, there's many paths, there's many types of therapy, there's many degrees out there, there's many qualifying bodies for it. In the UK, it's regulated, but not as regulated, which some people are using loopholes to thrive in it, which, you know, I don't blame them. So just research what you want to do and go for it.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta hit
One
us.
of the loopholes I saw on TikTok, which looked illegal but
I'm
apparently
scared.
isn't, there's something you can do which is like a sympathetic listener. And like you sign up to on Fiverr, your eye is wide, Shomi. Me too. And I said,
What does
because
that mean?
so like,
What does that mean?
obviously it's on Fiverr, so most things on Fiverr are
So you
at
just
quite
pay
a low
someone
price
to
point.
listen.
You'd be paying someone to, because what will they listen and give you advice? They're not a specialist.
Oh, they even give you advice. I
But
thought
you know
just
what it is?
listen.
I'm sure it's just to listen. But
Yeah.
how much just listening can somebody do? Are
Yeah.
you a Samaritan?
You have to know, yeah.
If you don't want someone just
Yeah.
listening, you'd call Samaritans.
Yeah.
The fact that you've now paid somebody online, they're going to talk back.
Okay.
About what? About what?
No, yeah. That's
Yeah, I saw
interesting.
someone advertising. I was thinking, wow.
Someone that was advertising it.
Yeah, she was advertising like ways to make money from home. You know, there's like
So many
cost of
different
living.
ways.
People need to make money.
At the
But yeah,
cost of what though? Somebody's.
at the cost of somebody's mental health.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so one thing I wanted to know is, so if somebody thought they had something, I'm convinced that I have ADHD, for example, how would somebody go about getting a diagnosis? Like, what would be the formal steps? Because, yeah, like, do I just call my GP?
So that is a way. You can go
Okay.
through your GP. For most mental health problems, you can go through your GP. They will make the necessary referrals, and you should be sent to whatever specialist. In reality, that can also mean
Yeah, so many people
2-3
complain
year
about
waiting lists.
GPs and how rubbish they are.
My
You hear
GP told me
about
to
it.
get a report from year 3, so I'm excited to
Okay,
hear about
okay.
some of the other ways.
My mouth is like.
Your mouth is open, and yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I don't have the report, so
Okay, your GP's
yeah.
fired.
Year 3,
So-
I'm turning 30 in 11 months,
Your
just
GP's
for
fired.
disclaimer of when year 3 might have been.
Is there any
Other
other
routes.
avenues that make sense?
Do you know what there are? I don't have the names of it off the top of my head, but I know that
Yeah.
there are other routes. I know
Okay.
that some people have private healthcare through their workplaces,
Yeah, okay.
and they go through that as well. I know that there are specially allocated places just for ADHD diagnosis, especially now that there's an influx, there's more awareness. Everyone's like,
Yeah, everyone's convinced
This
they
sounds
have it.
familiar.
That's also why that's why they're making it hard to diagnose, because who told you guys?
yeah,
So,
so
yeah.
there are other avenues. It is very like backdoorish. Like you just need to be in the know to know
It
how
seems
to do
so.
it. So I couldn't tell you off the top of my
Yeah,
head,
no,
but
of course.
I've heard different ways. So yeah, right now it's not great.
Okay.
Hopefully with more demand it does increase, but yeah.
With something more like generic, like depression, anxiety, would
Yeah.
it then be GP would be your best port of call?
GP also just going directly to your local IAPT service, so IAPT. So Google your area plus IAPT, something should come up. They normally assess you very quickly. Again, you do get put on a waiting list depending on your area. So the 2 places I've worked on, one waiting list was 3 weeks, which is good.
Yeah.
One was 6 months.
What is IAPT? Just for people that don't know what it is out there,
It's
including me. because
improving
I'm a-
access to psychological therapies.
Go off,
Okay.
sorry.
Yes.
Like,
Oh,
yeah, just
come
off the top of your
on.
head.
It's the NHS, like, you go here.
That's
fine.
the mental, like, yeah,
Okay.
they refer,
That's sick.
yeah.
I've never heard of that before. That's great.
I've used IAP before, and I'd say they're quite good. I'd say the assessment happens very quickly.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
between you putting in your form, I think I've used the service twice, and I've
Oh.
always had assessment within 2-3 weeks
Really?
at max.
So what happens
and-
after the assessment? Like,
You get put on a wait list.
okay, oh,
Yeah, you get put on a wait list, but yeah,
Okay.
and then you go from there. The assessor's always quite nice. They'll call you first, schedule a time. It's
Okay.
very. I would say, like, as someone who's used the NHS route, it takes patience, but it's not a bad service, like, at all.
Okay.
Like, you can't say the fault of the service, but
Yeah.
the NHS is, as you would say, tired.
Yeah, we can.
So the waiting list is always going to be there.
Okay. Okay, fair.
As on topic of NHS, the only therapy NHS ever offered me was CBT. It seems a big selling point. So what is CBT?
Okay, so CBT is short for cognitive behavioral therapy. Reason why it's pushed is because it's quick to train therapists, and it also has the quickest turnover. So if you have depression symptoms, you can start seeing improvement within 4 sessions. So the NHS doesn't want to spend too much money,
Yeah.
and the IAP service, primarily it's to get you back to work. So if you're stressed, off sick, they just want you back to work.
Yeah.
They're not trying to improve your life forever. They just make more money for
Yeah,
your economy.
literally, get to it.
It's a quick therapy, and depending on how it's delivered, some people find it quite basic. Some people find it, if it's delivered well, find it thorough. So it is good, but it isn't everything as much as it's pushed.
Okay. So talk to us about different types of therapy then? Let us know.
There must be so many different types.
You can give us just a few off the top of your head. Yeah.
Some
No, because
examples.
on obviously you people hear TikTok 50 million times, as you know, but on TikTok everything I saw like a new type of thing, and then I googled it and it doesn't even seem to exist in the UK. So yeah, now that we have a professional, I'm just gonna listen to her.
Right?
Do you know what though? There's all kinds of therapies coming out. Like I worked in a service where a therapist quit to start a horse therapy service. So you go there, you go to her farm, you groom the horses, and that is a therapy. You become mindful with them. You through nurturing them, you become
for free
at
holidays. That one I can manage, but okay.
So there's all kinds.
Yeah,
of therapies,
that's
isn't
what
it?
I got from the TikTok.
If they like it, I love it. If it works for you, it really is.
What you would typically see on like TV when they're lying on the bench.
That's all you be seeing though.
That would be like more psychodynamic therapy.
Okay.
So tell me about your childhood. This is linked to that. Do you think that because your mother was like this?
Every
is why
time,
you're
every
doing that?
time. Because that's all that's on TV.
Yeah.
Never, I've never seen anything else on TV. It's always,
Yeah.
but talk to us about your
It's
childhood.
so interesting you say that because my first therapist that I then was like, I don't want this anymore. She did that to me, and I was like, but I'm talking about now. I'm talking about my dad and my childhood. Can you please focus? And I had to just.
And that's where we're different because no, actually, I agree. No, let's talk. I do think that
No,
but
I was
the
like,
thing that
what
happened when I was
talking about
5 is affecting this thing
So
right
you
now.
see what you're talking about?
Yeah.
That would be CBT. CBT don't care about your past. Here and now,
Okay.
you can't get out of bed because you're depressed. We're gonna fix that.
Yeah. CBT.
Psychodynamic.
Yeah, I think
is
that's
like,
a
do you
bit
think
of
it's
you.
because of your sleep pattern when you were
She was trying
7?
to psychoanalyze me. I can see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting to know.
So that would be like the stereotypical what people think therapy is all the time. That they get disappointed when it's not that.
Okay.
This was me, okay? Because I got to the CBT place
You were
and
like,
the woman was.
sorry.
I've even done one CBT anyway. Me and NHS spent time where it was like guided self-help therapy, and it was a notebook and homework. I'm telling you, I'm having problems. Excuse
And you're
me.
telling me to write essay.
I'm not gonna draw a picture. I'm not gonna do it. So yeah, I think I lost it 2 sessions. Anyway,
Oh dear.
so
There's other types. I don't even know how much depth I'm going to be able to go into it.
Oh no, just give a few.
I
Just
know
a few
there's
out
like
there.
systemic, so that's things like couples therapy, family therapy, multiple people, you guys working in some kind of relationship. I know there's humanistic, which is supposed to take into account your whole experience. So maybe don't quote me on this. Maybe things to do with like your religion, your just everything about you. Then there's integrative, which tends to be a lot of therapists are going into that. It's where there's just a mix of everything because they're learning about you. They're like, okay, you need this, and they can tap into that because they've learned
About you.
bits and pieces there.
Okay.
I know some people, and obviously certain things work better for certain people or certain diagnoses. I know things like, I know someone who's gone to a hypnotherapist for binge eating, and it's been very effective. It's not a recommended like NHS therapy, but some people swear by it. So there's a bunch of therapies out there.
many.
Yeah.
That is so many. How does one even? I'm thinking, how does one
How do you
even
just-
like?
what to try?
Yeah.
It's complicated. So instead of saying I need this type of therapy, it's best to say I have this problem. Does this therapist treat it?
Fine.
Okay.
So if you say I want to deal with childhood trauma, some therapists, like a hypnotherapist, will say actually I can't do this.
Fine.
A psychodynamic therapist will say yeah. CBT therapist will say no.
Fine.
So you don't. It's not the onus isn't on you to know this is the type of therapy I need. It's more, do I get along with this therapist and
Okay.
do they treat what I have?
Okay.
And you'd find it a bit easier to work from there.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Okay.
That is-
We like. I'm not a CBT fan, but we can move on.
I might be.
We can move on. So, what kind of therapy do you offer? Because you're
Yes.
private. What do you do?
So I've been formally trained in cognitive behavioral therapy. The world of therapy is very expensive, so I learn other things
That's true.
Graduate.
unofficially
Yeah.
and poke it into my sessions with people. But formally, I'll say I'm a CBT therapist.
Okay. And how long have you been doing that?
3 years now.
Lovely. Look at that.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. Time's flown.
Yeah. No, honestly, you also have a business that.
Yeah,
Mental
so I
health.
work privately. So my business is called Laugh Your Health. I don't even know what it focuses on anymore because it does a bit of everything. But primarily, I have private clients, and then I've got like more corporate clients. I work with businesses, universities, stuff like that, with their wellbeing initiatives, things to do with diversity and inclusion as well. And now, for some reason, I started a book club as well.
Why
We
not?
like a
Which
book
is-
club.
Yeah, I'm excited about it, to be honest. It's a lot of work, but I'm excited about it.
Yes. See,
Diverse page.
excited. We're gonna put all her stuff so people can go and view and go and see her stuff down below.
Put it up on the
Are there any
screen.
kind of like free resources you put? Because I feel like since the pandemic, mental health has been at the forefront.
Yeah.
Locking us in our houses did not help anybody.
100%.
I feel like a lot of people weren't doing great before.
then
So
pandemic
then being
just-
locked in your house in a not great state it's just been exacerbated. So it's very much at the forefront. I'm a big therapy advocate. We talk about it a lot on the show, but it is a privilege. It took me a long time to even be able to afford therapy outside the NHS.
it can be
So
pricey.
like, what type of free resources are available? Because I feel like that's something I never even looked into. I was just like, have to save for the therapy and get to the therapy.
Yeah.
So
That is, unfortunately, there's a long way to go. But one thing I always recommend to people is books. So you find therapists have written books about different issues, and from the inside out, top to bottom, you'll learn about it, identify with it, learn that there's a way out. It helps because sometimes we feel very isolated, like, I have this thing, what's wrong with me? When you read about it and you hear that it's like a systematic diagnosis, you realise actually there's something that affects loads of people. There's professionals that know how to deal with it. And instead of it being targeted towards you, you get to learn about it in ways that you might not have explored with a therapist. So reading books by therapists can be really helpful. Reading books by people that have gone through what you've gone through can also be helpful because it just shows, again, I'm not alone. This thing that I thought was so unique to me has actually affected someone else and they've dealt with it in this way. You get to identify with them. So I would say books would be the primary thing. You would find with a lot of services, they might not have, like with the waiting list and all of that, but they might have free resources such as exercise books. They might have free workshops you might be able to attend. People that have private businesses nowadays, to promote them, they would have free workshops as well. So like my service runs free workshops or forums, even things that aren't necessarily therapy related. But let's say you find that maybe you have a mental health problem and it's making you isolate yourself. Even things, just doing things in the community that has nothing to do with mental health, going to Zumba, salsa class, whatever, is therapeutic. So try not to approach the whole I have mental health needs, I need therapy as it must be therapy, but it could just be I need to socialize more, I need to go for a walk, and just try and be creative with what could actually help me at the moment. As if it can't be therapy, what else can it be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, yeah, I like that. No, yeah. The other thing I'd say is stress is a big thing because the whole economy, everything, all they care about is working us to death and taking too much tax. No, can somebody help?
Okay.
No, because the tax thing, can somebody actually help?
You see your paycheck, you think, well, the time they tax you, you'll finish. You're like, anyway,
Literally.
the £1.50 that I have left, let me use it to spend on rent.
No, it's actually the £1.50, and then the rent is extortionate, and then this one, that
and
one.
you're left with £2.
What is, like, how are people meant to live day to day? Like, what are some stress relievers they can put into their lives?
Do you know what? I wish I had a
honestly.
comprehensive answer, but from what you said, the way that the system is,
It's currently,
it's becoming unavoidable. You know, people are not working 9 to 5 anymore. They're working 9 to 7,
Right.
and then they've got
multiple
their side
jobs,
hustle.
yeah.
Like, the people don't switch off. So you have to be really, really, if that is you, because I can't say quit your job or do this, but you have to be so regimented with your self care. Like,
right.
it's
I
so
agree.
easy to say, I need to make money. Seeing my friends can wait, because if I don't see my friends today, nothing's gonna happen. But if I don't see my friends for a month, I'm starting to get lower. I'm becoming less connected.
Yeah.
Now the conversation don't flow the same. It's harder to connect. So
together.
you have to be like, okay, as essential as work is, so is time with my friends.
Yeah.
So is my exercise. All these things, because these things all maintain your mental health,
Yeah.
innit? But it's so easy to
Yeah.
just find it frivolous because it's not making you money.
Yeah.
But you have to be intentional about finding time for it.
Yeah,
100%.
self care. I'd be advocating for that because I schedule it in my thing. I'm going to go to the gym here. What day are you free? We're gonna go for lunch this day because you have to. Otherwise, the world will just collapse around you, and that's it.
Literally.
Yeah, no, I agree. I love that.
Okay, no, we love that.
Thank you,
Shomi.
yes.
Are there any mental health top tips that we have not quizzed you on that you'd like to share with our community?
Do you know one thing that I feel is affecting a lot of people? I think I would say smartphones, and myself as well. Smartphone addiction is making people lose sleep. I think one of my friends was telling me how from his screen time, if he looked at that like by his life expectancy, he would have spent like 30 years on his phone. Once I heard that, I was like, imagine I'm not even 30 now, Imagine
More
spending
time
more
than
than I've
I've
now on my phone. Like that really
That's
put the fear of
crazy.
God in me, because I was like, that is nuts. And sometimes I'll be looking at my screen time. Or it comes up every Monday and it tells me, and I'm so ashamed. I'm so embarrassed. How did I spend
too much time
almost
on
all my waking hours looking at my screen? And it affects your sleep because you're exposed to the light. You're not sleeping as well,
true.
and once your sleep isn't good, your mental health is going to falter anyway. Sometimes you're feeling sad. You don't know why. So sleep regulates our hormones essentially. If your hormones are not regulated, you're going to have fluctuating moods anyway. Even if your life is perfect, you're going to have fluctuating moods. So sleep is a really big component there. So I'd say watch your smartphone use, watch your sleep. Those are really
Unless
heavy
you're a midwife
components.
and you have to do shift work and you're on night, so you're like, then sleep is just, for me, one day I'll sleep 3 hours, the next day I'll sleep 8, the next I'm sleeping 4. It's mad.
No, because the way
So,
as they
yeah.
work, like the way as they work, I can't even like. There's very people I know that work hard like Eze. Because even stuff like we'll have pods and Eze will come from night shift just straight to my house and just chill at my house. Will come
You know
from
what
here.
it is for me?
She's
I've always said,
very
like,
determined of
my
somebody.
life, I want to enjoy it, I want to live it. Work is work.
Work always.
It's not like fully sleeping, I have things to do. So I want to have fun. So we're going to have that fun.
I love
okay?
that. She encourages me. It's good because me, I can sleep. Because work makes me tired, so I wouldn't mind sleeping. And I had a nap before I came today, like
There
a
you
refresh.
go.
Do you see? Well, thank you, Shomi. We're gonna end our interview of you here.
Thank you for having me.
No, we're gonna get some dilemmas. We're not letting you go
Yes.
just yet.
You want your
She's a
take?
hostage.
I don't know, but I want your take.
We got some dilemmas emailed in. While we're here, thank you so much, people using our Google Docs, emailing dilemmas, because
Come on.
guys,
Yeah.
like
Someone
yeah,
was shocked.
no,
I opened it, I'm like,
me and Eze, the day they release our chat, we're in trouble anyway. But we are just so grateful, and even for like the interaction with our socials. So yeah, thank you guys. We're very excited for this new season 2 chapter.
Right. Okay.
Are you on Google Docs or are you
No,
an email?
I'm gonna read this one.
Okay, yeah, I'll find the other one. That's fine.
And okay,
Yeah, I'll do
let's
the one.
start with this one.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's long. So, hey ladies, I need some advice. My friend, let's call her Stephanie. We've known each other for most of our lives. Our parents grew up near each other in Nigeria and we got close just before our teens.
Oh.
Honestly, we've both struggled with issues with our body. I've had to do the work to stop hating my body, and I truly love myself more now. But it's all the time. The clothes, the guys, the pictures we take, where we go. Every decision is about her weight and I'm tired. The body confidence issues affect everything we do. I've advised therapy or even joining a support group, but that's not her style. Her style is instead to act confident outside and hate herself inside.
Does she like her friend though?
Yeah!
Because that was shade. So,
From the outside looking in, no one would ever know what's really going on. I don't know how to help her. I'm at the stage where I'm kind of done with it. Am I being a bitch, or can you guys advise on what you think would help? Therapist.
Wow. Okay, do you know, first of all, I think the frustrations are valid.
Right.
Because
it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot, especially when she's
can
had
be
her
heavy.
own body image issues
Yeah.
too. And I can hear the passive aggression. She's at the end of her tether. She's had enough.
She's
I also have compassion for the friend too, because it's not easy to hate yourself.
right.
Which essentially sounds like that's what the friend is doing.
Yeah.
And, you know, naturally you want to confide in your friends, but you don't realise the toll it's taken.
Yeah.
So I think this friend should tell her friend, actually, this is taking a toll on me, what you're doing. I think that she just needs to bring it to attention.
Do you think that the friend will take it in a bad way though? Because I feel like in real life,
Probably.
the friend might be like, well, I'm never talking to you again. And she
That's
might
my
be
deepest,
wrong.
darkest something.
No,
And
yeah,
you're
and you're
telling me
just
it's affecting you. What's doing you? But you know what? She's calmed down. I think because the friend has been through it herself,
Yeah.
she's already been pretty sympathetic. Do you get what I mean? Because I feel like I'm always so I'm like, oh, my people. I always feel for that.
No,
It's
yeah.
very natural to feel for someone who's doing like, so to the point that you're now so frustrated that you're over it.
Okay,
It's
maybe
a
time to
lot.
talk to
And
her then, I guess.
when you hate your body, it's all consuming.
Yeah.
It's everything. Everything is about
It
it.
does sound like everything.
You're
Like
breathing, you're walking,
where
everything.
we're going, the
Literally.
pictures we take, the angle that we take
No,
it from.
delete
does
this
sound
picture, do this one,
exhausting.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was that for years, and it's all consuming. It's everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody around you's been affected by it. And like, no, deep what going out is.
Yeah, that's
You've all gone out, you're all having a great time, and now like things are being affected on the night out because of somebody's internal dislike for themselves. There's no way it's not going to have a toll on everyone.
Yeah.
That's true.
So her friend might fight her, but she has to tell her friend, like, honest, like, and it's from a place of
still
love.
you,
Like, and I do
too
want,
much for me.
and I feel like she's saying, I've asked you to go to support, like, I'm giving you
Oh,
resource,
okay. And
like,
you're-
you don't want to love
Yeah.
yourself yet, which is fine, but then do it by yourself,
leave
I
it on
think.
me.
Like,
Yeah, I feel like she just needs to make her friend aware that, hey, babes, you've told me about this. I understand. I've been through it myself. I do care. I've offered you support. This is how it's affecting. Because she might not be aware that this is how it's
I
affecting
don't
her.
think she is aware.
She might just think, I'm getting this off my chest.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
literally.
so
we be ranting to our friends.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's
she just needs to
true.
make her aware, first of all, it's a lot. It's affecting XYZ and it's affecting me.
Okay.
And it's not that I don't care about you. Be very reassuring. Let her know
Yeah.
that this is not you
This is love.
coming down on her. Be very reassuring. I love you. I care about you. But I feel like something needs to be done because it's not fair that it's affecting everyone. And it's not fair that you're letting it affect every area of your life too. Like, it's...
Free yourself.
Yeah.
Like, no, honestly, you to free yourself.
Literally.
There's one famous actress. I don't know any actress or actor's name. People learn. It's just that I know. And she I'll find the clip and we'll put it on the screen. And she was like, this is just a shell you're living in. Like, stop letting it dictate your life. Like, you're not gonna live your life because you don't like a shell that you live. Like, the actual qualities of life you're gonna miss out on.
Yeah.
And I was actually thinking, this is so true.
it's
I'm
true.
being so dramatic. Like, yeah. So I encourage you people to live, Sha. That will be. We'll do one more.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Hi ladies, I have a dilemma I need to share with you. Before my friend got engaged, let's call her Michelle, she dated her now fiance, let's call him Thomas. Things were going well until one day she called me really upset, saying that after just 2 months of dating, Thomas had cheated on her. She went on to say she went through his phone and saw that he was adding random girls on Snapchat and sending thirst traps. He also met up with a lady at the club, brought her home and had sex.
Hey.
When confronted, he denied it. To cut the story short,
Why would
after
he?
endless sob stories, my friends took him back and now they're getting married in a couple months. A part of me is disappointed that my friend would accept to be treated this way and marry the guy. She's having her bridal shower soon and to be honest, I don't even want to go. What should I be celebrating? How can I celebrate something that is so against my values? Many O's. Yes, she is happy and all. And I want her to be happy, but I can't bring myself to see her fiancé in a good light. I dislike her partner forever stepping out and just giving her a makeup ring to patch things up. Ladies, am I tripping? What would you do if you were in my
Don't you
situation?
love your friend again?
I don't feel like you're in a situation, babe.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I feel like your friend's in a situation and she's fine.
It's a complicated one because obviously it's against her values, but this isn't about you and your values.
Yeah,
so
it's not your wedding.
you can't impose your values on your friend. Like it's understandable he's done wrong, but your friend accepts that, and this is what makes her happy. So as a friend, I'd say just be happy for your friend. Yeah.
I'm with that. The therapist has spoken. Okay, I'm with that. Because don't you love your friend again?
No, yeah, I
You love her.
understand,
Don't
but you
want her to
see
be
it,
happy?
like when somebody hurts your friend,
Yeah.
it's very hard to even be around them. Because why are you trying to kill my friend?
Yeah.
Like, what's that about?
Your love
And,
for your friend should overcome that.
like,
though.
But even I get it.
it's
though.
the underlying, like, I feel like it's not outright fighting your friend, but just the...
And also, she doesn't want her friend to get hurt again, innit? Like, this is someone that's proven I'm not safe.
Yeah.
And the friend has accepted the person, but this friend is now looking at them like, are they safe for my friend? So I fully understand it. There's nothing wrong with how you're feeling.
But-
It's just that you have to, your friend is an adult. She's made her decision. She knows everything. You know everything. She's taken the information. Nothing's been hidden from her. She knows the information and she's going into it with her eyes open.
That's true.
So you can't really take paracetamol for a headache that no one's having.
No, literally, it's that.
Taking
Keep the
Panadol
Panadol, man. Honestly, it is just to be supportive to your friend and be cordial with the guy. You don't have to be his friend.
You don't have to fight him as well. Please.
Yeah, like, just be cordial. Like,
Yeah.
congratulations on the wedding. Like,
Be a
you
good
can give
wife
him an
mate.
eye so he knows that we know who you are, but yeah, it'll be fine.
Okay. I'm with that.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay.
But thank you guys.
Okay.
It's been a lovely session on what seems to be the hottest day of the year.
We're having
but we
summer.
move
We're having summer right now.
in
for like a
September.
day.
Not that we needed it in August,
No,
so that's
yeah.
great. But a big thank you to Shomi for joining us. It's
Thank
been
you guys
lovely.
for having me. I really
Oh,
enjoyed
guys,
this.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
so
Glad
glad.
you loved it.
So yes, guys, we learnt something today. We know you
Right.
did too. And we will be back in 2 weeks.
Alright.
With another guest, actually. We're doing new stuff. We're
Yeah, we're
shaking it
trying
up,
to-
guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
Evolution.
That's it.
So yes, we'll see you guys soon.
All right, guys, that's I Have Just For You.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.